It's doing a ski jump onto the floor of my shop. Golly. All right, welcome back to the garage, everyone. All right, so while we're waiting on parts, we need to do a second oil change on the 2015 Volkswagen Golf TDI, the infamous 2-liter Dieselgate. This is a Golf Sportwagen, if you didn't watch the last video. And this is the first time I have had this car on the lift. So this will be a first for me and for you to view underneath our newish Volkswagen. So I thought, in addition to an oil change that I'm going to do today, I thought maybe I would give this thing an undercarriage inspection and just to see what we can see. And let's start over here at the passenger side. I don't expect to find anything. This is a low mileage car. The boots look good. No seepage. No seepage on the boots. On the axle, that's always good. I don't see anything telling on the strut, but kind of back around this way. I thought that was a crack at first, but it's not. It's just that's just where the rubber is bent a little bit. All right, that looks good. Let's go over to the passenger side. See what we can see. No cracks. The boots look brand new. This car now has 62,000 on it, I believe the number is. Had 58,000 on it when I bought it. And so far, everything I'm seeing is spot on. And the exhaust system coming back here. Lots of emissions stuff on these cars. Got a, I want to be honest with you, I don't know what that is. It looks like a valve of some kind affixed to the exhaust to check for particulates, maybe. Probably something related to the, it looks like an O2 sensor. And anyway, part of the emissions system and the exhaust system on this thing. Man, VW. Look at that. Look at that. Looks like it's cadmium plated. I mean, that looks... Wow, it looks really nice. Although, is that a booger weld from Volkswagen? Goodness gracious. Okay. Maybe somebody replaced this exhaust. Nah, I doubt it. Going back, I'm just giving the exhaust a good once over. Move over here to the right-hand rear wheel. We got some Sachs shocks made in Mexico. This car was made in Mexico, actually. So these are probably the original shocks. But the ride is fantastic, and I don't have a problem with it. Looks like 069/15 on that shock there. I'm assuming that's the date of manufacture. And so back here on this side, got a little bit of rust right in there. I'm not sure what that's about. Just, you know, just normal, just very mild surface rust. And continuing on, this is a rear crossmember here. No issues there. I don't see any signs of damage either. This will be the the diesel exhaust fluid tank, apparently. I was kind of wondering where that tank was, but so now we know. Let's see, is that the, yeah, that's the primary fuel tank there, and this smaller one here has to be the diesel exhaust fluid tank. What a cute little dinky spring. All right, so over here on this side, again, I don't see any issues, nothing's wet. The muffler, no problems whatsoever. Nice dual tips on the muffler. Looks like we had a scuff there on that one. And We've got a plastic cover on this side. Not sure what's behind door number 2 there. Not really worried about that today. I just wanted to give this thing a good going over underneath and make sure that we didn't see anything that was off kilter, banged up, scratched up, broken, you know, stuff like that. Volkswagen they give you these little, all they give you is a little ridge to put your lift on. They don't give you a nice pad. The old 126 over there has some nice round pads to put your lift on, but this car doesn't. All you get is this lip right there. But hey, I guess it's good enough. Or either I'm a fool for standing underneath the car. I could be. And let's look back up in here. Everything on this car is bone stock. It's low miles. And I'm looking at the back of the motor up there. It's a myriad of emissions equipment and all kinds of pipes and stuff on these things. And I don't see anything seeping. There might be a little bit of wetness on the back of the engine up there. But no, I take that back. That's just good shiny black paint. That's pretty awesome. All right, I'll tell you what, everything looks good underneath here, and I didn't really expect to find any surprises, but let's go ahead and give our old girl an oil change. So stand by, let me get my oil pan in place, and we'll get this bottom cover off. All right, we got our engine cover off. That's T47 for your big bolts and T25 Torx for your smaller ones holding the plastic cover on. Looks pretty dry underneath here. A little bit of greasy dirt here and there, but hey, you know what? It's a car engine, so is what it is. Pretty typical 19 millimeter for your oil drain on a Volkswagen automobile. I wonder if I could do this without getting oil all over my hand. Are we completely loose? Getting there. Woo! Look out! Holy cow! Goodness gracious! It's like dumping out. My goodness! I mean, I have never seen oil shoot out of an engine. I mean, it's doing a ski jump onto the floor of my shop. Golly! Now, I did loosen the oil filler cap and the dipstick, you know, to let air come in and so that the oil would drain easily, but this is just uncalled for. What in the world? That's hilarious. Guys, I've never seen oil spew out of an engine like that before. Only thing I can figure is the crankcase had a little pressure in it, but I loosened the oil filler cap on the motor, so that shouldn't have been the case. That's just weird. That's just weird. Okay, all right, enough of ranting and raving about that. While we're draining, we're gonna go up here and change out the oil filter next, and it is comically not placed in a very good location. I will have to say, this is probably my least favorite thing about this car is the placement of the oil filter. All right, probably saw in the last video, what you need to do is take this little connector off right here, and it attaches to this, to that device right there. Just need to move it out of the way, really. And also there's a little wiring loom thing right there that slips into this little bracket right there. You're gonna wanna get that out of your way. So, all right, up next we got a 13 millimeter to drain the oil out of the oil filter housing. And then after that, we'll remove the bottom cap of the oil filter housing. All right, that's the bottom drain on the oil filter housing, and it has a little O-ring there. The one on this car, I think I replaced it last time I did the job, and it looks really good. I'm not gonna bother with replacing it. But looks like we're done draining out of the oil filter housing. Up next, let's go ahead and take that off. All right, and what you're gonna need is a 1 1/4 inch socket. on a 1/2-inch drive, and or a 32 millimeter to get that lower part of that oil filter housing free. All right, I broke that loose with this 1¼ inch socket, and I've got a 3/8 to 1/2 inch adapter on here. Looks good, no debris. Everything is well designed on this car except for this oil filter setup. It's crap, but I guess I'll get over it. Filter looks good. Nothing stuck to it. I just wanted to give you a shot up inside this oil filter housing on this 2-liter TDI. All right, so that center thing there is where the filter goes in there. You're gonna wanna be, you know, that's plastic, okay? So I'm just offering this up as a precaution. So, you know, be gentle. Some things on cars are not built like a tank. Some things are kind of delicate, and that's one of them. So, all right, but if it did break off, it looks like, it doesn't look like it would be too hard to replace it. It looks like you could remove it, but I'm just making a guess. I really have no idea. All right, let's get the new filter in there. All right, so the filter itself doesn't have any O-rings or anything on it. It's a press fit. Actually, I'm sorry, I take that back. It has one, but it's permanently impregnated in the filter. No big deal, you just insert it until it clicks and boom, you're done. Where's my cap? Here it is. I'm gonna clean this up really good and before we reinstall it. All right, I don't know what the torque setting is on this, but I think common sense will be pretty good, you know? There we go. So you can feel the large O-ring compress, and yeah. That's done. You're done. All right, let's go ahead and put the oil drain plug back in the bottom of the housing. You know what, I changed my mind. I'm gonna go ahead and change out this O-ring on this oil drain thing here, because, you know, we did the big one. Might as well do the little one. There's actually no deformation of these O-rings at all. Gee whiz, can I get it on there? Come on, man. There we go. 13 millimeter. You just let the O-ring do its job. O-rings are pretty good at doing their job when they're new. All right, we got a brand new oil drain plug. Oh yeah, I forgot that somebody had actually, the first time I changed the oil in this car, somebody along the way had put some blue RTV on it because they didn't know how to keep the oil from leaking out, because they didn't know that they were supposed to put a new oil drain lug on there. All right, I need to get a knife and get that off of there. I didn't do this last time because I didn't have the car in the air, but I have it in the air now. So, but it's just some baked on RTV. It's in the way of the socket. Yeah, there we go. All right, one brand new oil drain lug. These things are generally about 20 pounds, 20 pound-feet of torque. Where's my torque wrench? There it is. All right, that's 240 inch-pounds. All right, there we go, 20 foot-pounds. That should be fine. Boy, we made a mess today. Goodness gracious. Thanks to our VW catapulting oil. I mean, it hit the pan. I had the pan perfectly positioned, but when it just went and just shot off to the back of the car. That's just, oh my goodness. I got to go to the parts house and get a brand new bag of oil dry now. All right, so we got our oil filter housing all buttoned up. We got our new oil drain lug in place. I'm going to go ahead and put that wiring harness back together right there, and then I'm going to go to the parts house and get some oil dry and clean up this mess. Then we'll get the old girl back on the ground and fill her up with some liquid moly. All right, if you saw the first video I made on this car where I gave it the first oil change, some of you astute viewers may have noticed that I used the wrong oil. I used a liter of the 4200 liquid moly, which is a 507 spec, but the big jug, it didn't catch my eye that I used the 505 spec, and it didn't actually have the 4200 on there. So, but you know, I think it'll be okay. All right, we're going to go ahead and fire this thing up. I didn't fill it up all the way. I just wanted to make sure I fill it to the absolute correct level. I'm just going to fire it up, let it get circulated, and then we'll put the rest of the oil in there. Horn check, lights check, bright lights, dim lights, blinkers, brake lights. That should be sufficiently circulated, I would think. Yes. I didn't get you. Huh? Ice cream is ready. Okay. We're about a third of the way up through the proper range. We'll give her one more check right at the top of the range, and we're all good to go. All right, folks, there you are. Just a quick underneath inspection of our 2015 Golf Sportwagen with the 2-liter TDI engine, followed up with an oil change. I did it at 5,000 miles just to be on the safe side. Here in the near future, I'm going to go ahead and change out my fuel filter as well. But so far, this car has been exceptional. It gets fantastic fuel mileage, has tons of power, it's smooth, it's quiet. It's just a nice car all the way around. All right, folks, I appreciate you guys stopping by the channel. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And if you'd like to be notified whenever I release a new video, don't forget to click that little bell down below. You guys know where it is. You guys have a good one, and remember to enjoy driving your newish Volkswagen.